In this video, we will look at some of the date and time functions and shortcuts. So let's go to one of the cells in this spreadsheet. So okay, let me go to B1. I can type the equal to today formula and let's see what happens. So equal to TO tab and enter. Check it out. It shows the current date. All right. On similar lines, I can also do a control and semicolon. All right. I press the control key and the semicolon. The colon and the semicolon are on the same key, just next to L. So control and semicolon will again display the current date. Okay. Please note that both these will be taken from your system. Okay. So my laptop currently shows up the date as 15th of February 2007. That's what it has shown by the today formula as well as the control semicolon shortcut. Okay. So what is the difference between the value in B1 and C1, right? This one, if I press F2, is a formula. It's showing up as equal to today, and this one simply shows up the date, right? So the difference is if you open this sheet tomorrow, this will change to 16th of February. It currently shows 15th of February, but at 12 midnight it will change to 16th. That's the difference between these two, right? This is a shortcut, hence it will remain at 15th of February throughout. All right. On similar lines, we can also have the equal to now formula, equal to now function. So equal to NOW tab, enter, and it picks up the date like we've seen last time. And this time it also picks up the time as per the system. Now this also will change. I mean, I can press F2 to check the function, right? It is 4:27 p.m. here, but after a minute, when the clock strikes 4:28, this will turn into 16:27, provided I refresh the cell. Okay, so at present it is 4:27 here in India, and hence it shows 4:27. Remember, it picks up as per the laptop time, right? There is a shortcut as well for this, control shift and semicolon. It only displays the time, right? Okay, and now when we come back to this E1 cell, because the clock has shown up 4:28, this cell has changed into 4:28. Yeah, even if I do not go to any other cell and do any activity, I can simply just press F2 here and enter. And if the clock has changed by a minute, the updated time will be shown up here. Please note that it is not automatically going to refresh. We as a user will have to press F2 and enter. Okay, so just a quick recap of the four things that you've seen so far in this module. The equal to today formula is in B1. The control semicolon shortcut is right here. Okay. And then in the E1 cell, I've typed equal to now. Again, it's a function, so it'll keep changing just like equal to today. And here in the F1 cell, I've only typed control shift semicolon. It displays the time. Okay, before we move on, let's just quickly check F2 here again one last time. F2, enter, and see it has changed to 4:29. Okay, now let's look at more on the date. All right, let's just come somewhere here. Okay, I'll come to the Q column. Now in this data, I do have this higher date column. The H column is for all the joining dates of the employees. Okay, I would like to know in the Q column what day of the week it was when each employee joined. Right, so what was the day of the week on 1st of Jan 77? What was the day of the week on 1st of March 99, and for the rest of the employees as well. Okay, so I am in the Q column. I will start with equal to. The function that I'm using here is equal to text. Okay, And like we did for the if formula as well and some of the other functions, please note that we will always type the first few characters of the spelling of the formula. So in this case I will type equal to TEX tab. Alright, now the first thing it is asking is value. My value will be my date. This has been it is given to me in the H column, 4th cell. My data begins from H4, so I select H4, okay, comma. It asks what is the format in which you would like the answer. So if we want the answer in terms of years, we will type Y. If we want the answer in terms of months, we will type M, and for day of the week we will type D. Simple as that, okay. But remember, we cannot simply type the Y and the D and the M directly, because if we start doing that, Excel will assume that we are writing a formula that starts with D. So please ensure to use double quotation marks here as well. We did the double quotes while doing the if formula, right? So double quotes, D, double quotes, right? And let's see if it gives the answer. So I will hit enter and it picks up 1. It has picked up 1 because the date here is 1st, okay, but we didn't want that. Our requirement was we wanted to get the day of the week. So let's press F2. Let's have another D there. So we tried with one D. Let's try with a couple of D's this time. Let's check if it works, right? Enter or control enter, and well, no, it doesn't still give us the day of the week. It simply converts the answer in 2-digit format, okay. Let's press F2 again and let's make it 3 D's, okay. So I make double quotes, triple D double quotes, enter or control enter, and check it out. Finally, it does give us the answer, which is Saturday, right? And now in the J, K, L, M, and N columns, we did a double click once we got the first answer. Let's just do it for this. Yeah. Now please note, friends, that here if you do a double click, it is not going to capture for every date, because it assumes that you would only like it to happen for up to this. So the concept of double click works with respect to your neighboring column, okay. So what we can do here is I can copy the formula, control C. It has given me the answer only from Q4 to Q10, because the neighboring column P is filled up to that point, which is P10, right? But we know that the day of the week is to be calculated for all the dates which are given to us in the H column. So what we can do is we can copy the formula, control C, right? Control C to copy. I can simply come to one of these columns, just randomly I can come to one of these columns, and I will press control down. Control down will take me to the last data point, and then now I can use my right arrow a few times to come back into the Q column. This is the last cell in the Q column as far as the data is concerned, and from here I can do control shift up, okay. I can control shift up to highlight the entire Q column, right, up to the last cell where there is a formula. And now to duplicate the formula, or to get the formula down, I can press control D, okay. So that's it. So I've got the answer for all the dates, okay. Now we've tried with single D, we've tried with a couple of D's, and then now we've done 3 D's. Let's just check what happens if I do 4 D's, okay. So let's just press D again, so that makes it 4 D's. Control enter. So it changes the format of the answer from the 3-character format to the complete spelling format, right? And of course, since I've modified the first cell, I will again do a double click and see it gives the answer for the rest. Okay, all right. Now friends, let's just do another attempt here. We've tried with 1, 2, 3, 4 D's. let's press F2 and let's see what happens if I press make it 5 Ds. So 5 Ds, F2 and 5 Ds, and control enter, and nope, it doesn't change, right? So it's either 3 or 4 Ds that we will put in the text function. Yeah, I'll just come back to this cell F2. This was just to check what happens if I make it 5 Ds, but we've seen it's either the 3 Ds or the 4 Ds that work. Okay, all right. This was the text function to find out the day of the week. All right, I'll just quickly make a note here. Text function. All right, friends. Since the other headers of this data are in a specific format, there is this blue background, I can always use the format painter to ensure that this text header Q3 also has the same header. So I can select one of these, I can use the format painter, and I can simply just paste it here. All right, now let's just do some more operations on the date. All right, let's come somewhere here. I'll say equal to day. Right, it says serial number, so I will select my date, which is again given to me in the H column. So H4 and control enter, and see it gives a 1. Of course, I can do a double click now because the neighboring column is filled. All right, and so it picks up the DD portion from the complete date. Every date comprises of the DD, the MM, and the YY. All right, so this is my day formula. All right, let's just also use the month formula. So equal to month. So if I've been given a complete date like it is given in the H column, and if I wish to extract only the day of the month, and I can use the equal to day. Similarly, if I wish to extract only the month, I can come here, select it, control enter, and it again shows up 1. The 1 here stands for the serial number of the month. So if it is 1, it means Jan, Feb means 2, March is 3, and so on. Okay, just in case if a user is interested in finding out the spelling of the month and not just 1, 2, 3, then he will have to again use the text formula like the way we have done here, and in place of these 4 or 3 Ds, he will just type M. Yeah, it's either 3 or 4, it could be D, could be M. Right? Okay, now let's just look at another operation here, another function called year. This is pretty straightforward now. It simply extracts the year, that's it. So from the given date, it simply extracts the year only. So equal to year, I will select my date, and yep, so it picks up 1977. Double click and it picks up the year only for the rest of the dates. Okay, so we've done the day formula, we've done the month formula, we've done the year formula as well. Let me quickly take a format painter here, and format painter, and I can just roll my brush over R, S, and T, and that's it, it's done. Okay, all right, so we've seen the multiple date and functions regarding the date here in this video. In this video, we will look at some of the text functions in Excel. So I have been given the data here. Let's focus on the first name column, the B column of this Excel spreadsheet. All right. Okay, I'll just go somewhere here. All right. I would like to extract some characters from the given name. All right. So let's begin with a formula called equal to left. That's one of the text functions. Equal to left tab. I'll just zoom in. So text. It says text. Right. Text is my first name given to me in the B column. So I'll go with B4. I'll just use my arrow left to come to this B4 cell, and okay. Now if you look at the screen, it's asking for number of characters. Of course there is a comma, so I will put the comma, but next it says number of characters. All right, now notice here that the number of characters parameter is in square bracket, which means it's an optional parameter. Even if I decide not to supply the input to this parameter, I will still get the answer. I will not get an error. Right? Whether that answer is the one that was desired by me or not is a separate issue, but I will at least get some answer and not error. Okay, so let's just remove the comma and hit enter. Because I did not specify number of characters, Excel did not really understand how many characters do I wish to extract from the text, the value given in B4. So by default it simply extracts one character. Yeah, so the name was George and it has taken only G. Right? Okay, so now I can just do I can just edit. So let's press F2. Right, let's just remove the bracket, put a comma. So this time we will not ignore the second parameter, which is number of characters. All right, let's just take an example that I'd like to extract 3 characters. So from the name George, I only want the first 3, which is GEO. So I can just put 3, control enter, and of course double click and see from the rest of the names as well, it picks up the first 3 characters. This was the left formula. On similar lines, I can also do the right formula. Right, so equal to right. Let's take the same cell, which is B4, comma, and so this time let's say from the first name I would like to extract 2 characters. So control enter, and there you go. It gives me GE. Double click, right, and let's just check. So the name was George. The last 2 characters were G and E, and that's exactly what it has given. All right. Now, so what we've seen in the U column of this Excel spreadsheet is the left function, and then we've seen the right function. So what we understand by these functions so far is, if you wish to extract something from the beginning of text, we will use the left formula, because we generally we generally type left to right. So if you wish to extract something from the beginning, we will use the left, and if we wish to extract something from the end, we will use right. Okay, there is another formula called mid, right? So equal to MID, right? Let's just take an example that I would like to extract some text which is in the middle of the cell. So let's just take an example here, equal to mid tab. Text is B4, so I can always type B4. I don't have to always use my mouse or the cursor arrow to select B4. I can type B4 now that I know that the first name is given to me in the B column, and it's the 4th row from where my data starts. So, comma, it says starting number. Now let's take an example. All right, let's begin with 4. Okay, or maybe I can just say 3, comma, and how many do I wish to extract? Let's take an example 5, just an example, and control enter. Okay, so it picks up ORGE. Now let me explain this to you. I have said I would like to start from 3. Okay, so in the name George, G is at position 1, E is at position 2. Okay, let's just get into the cell that contains George. G is at number 1, E is at number 2, O is at number 3. And since I typed 3 in place of starting from, I typed 3, it has started extracting from O. So in case of Michael, it will start extracting from C. In case of Carrie, it'll start extracting from T, right? So that's exactly what has happened here. If we look at the W column, let's just double click. Yeah, so yep, there you go. Right now, F2 here, come back here, and let's discuss about this 5 as well, number of characters. Starting from O, how many characters do I wish to extract? I said 5. That's why it has taken O, that's 1, R, that's 2, G, that's 3, and E, and that's 4. But since I asked for 5, it has also taken up the space after George. For Michael, it has taken C, H, A, E, L. Starting from C, it has taken 5 characters. So that was the mid function. Okay, these are some of the text functions. Let's just take a look at another text function called len. All right, so I can say equal to len. This is a very straightforward function. I'll select George again, and it says 6. The name George has 6 characters, and it's as straight as that. Okay, double click, and that's it. So what we've seen in this video is the text functions. We've seen left, right, mid, and len. Let's also look at another function which again belongs to the category of text functions. I would like to combine the first and the last name given in this data. The B column is meant for all the first names, and the C column is for all the last names. I would like to combine the data given in this B as well as this C, right? So let's see what function can be used. We can use the ampersand here as well. However, if we wish to use a function, it will be equal to CON, and well, the one that I want to use is concatenate. I repeat, the one that I want to use is concatenate. All right. But it's not the first one in the list, so I can always use my down arrow. I can come down to the one that I want to use, which in this case is concatenate. So once I see the blue highlight, I can hit tab. It says text 1, so my text 1 is B4, right? Text 1 is B4. So I'll just, I can just type B4. I know it's in the B column, and the last names, family names or surnames, are given to me in the C column, so C4, yeah, and that's it. I can simply control enter, and it combines both the first and the last names. Now notice here that there is no space between the first and last name, right? So I can press F2 after B4, after the comma, I can put double quotes, space, double quotes, put a comma. So my text 1 is B4, my text 2 is the space, and since space is a special character, I am using double quotes, and then it is C4. Okay, control enter, and now check it out. There is a space between George and Bailey. Last, I can the last step is double click. I can always double click to ensure that the formula is applied for the rest of the guys. This formula was used for joining 2 or more cells. It's called concatenate. Yeah. Please note that it's not only the text that can be joined. You may have anything in 2 or more cells, and the concatenate function can join all of them.